hello, I'm the pterodactyl. So me and my friends like to do PowerPoint nights for funsies, and I recently made a PowerPoint presentation that was just too funny for me to not share with everyone. And by too funny, I mean too funny for me specifically. So, yeah, that's what today is. Welcome to my altered PowerPoint presentation of ranking the different species of the Legend of Zelda games. I can't say Hyrule, because some of these come specifically from regions outside of Hyrule. So I have to say the whole thing. I have to say the Legend of Zelda series. Sorry if that bothers you, but oh well, it's what you have to do. And because I can't be normal about this, I have made my own special ranking lists. What would be S tier is I would die for them. Because anything that goes in here, I would die for. Because they're precious and they deserve everything in life. Then we have the too cool for school, which is like, yeah, those are the cool designs. Those are the cool races, and they probably have good lore. Next, I have questions. Affectionate. Because I like these races, but they make me question things, which is a good thing. Because if I'm not questioning things, then something's kind of wrong. Then, what would have been C tier is now cute, but smack 'em upside the head. Because sweet glory, does somebody need to do that so that way these races can learn common sense? In my house, we call it getting denozoed from the NCIS show, so, yeah. Next, in D tier, is I have lore questions. This is very specifically different from I have questions. By having lore questions, I'm slightly angry about it. I'm slightly angry. E tier is meh. Honestly, my opinions on whatever goes in there isn't very strong. It's just meh. Then in F tier is it's hands on sight. I would like to fight these races. For whatever reason, I have an instinctual reaction to want to fight these creatures. And lastly, for a very special tier, we have war crimes! Because I think it's funny to include war crimes in these. Yeah, that is my ranking system. To ensure that I am not biased, I have let a random number generator pick the order that I'm going to be reviewing all the different species in. Because if I did it in alphabetical order, then I would be comparing them to the last one, which is a problem. And if I did them on game order, then I would have the exact same problem. So by constantly changing where they're pulling from, I won't be comparing any of them to each other. It's brilliant. I'm so smart. I know how to outsmart myself. It's kind of a problem that I have to think about how to outsmart myself, though, isn't it? Moving on! The first one that our random number generator picked up was the Kikwi from Skyward Sword. And these guys are adorable. Like, they're absolutely adorable. However, they are cowards and they are completely helpless. They need to be smacked upside the head so that way they can learn some survival sense aside from hide and run, and if that doesn't work, stand still and hope that they don't see you. It is no wonder these guys went extinct after Skyward Sword. The Yeti, only seen in Twilight Princess, meaning that there's only the two, Yita and Ito, and honestly, they're adorable. They are a great couple. However, this is all we know about the Yeti species in Hyrule. I want to know more about them. I want to know where they come from. I want to know why they exist. Why do they only exist in Twilight Princess also? I want to know more. And it makes me angry that I can't know more. So they're going in, I have lore questions. Individually though, like as a couple, they're couple goals. So good job Yita and Ito. I want to know more about the species that is the Yetis, though. Ooh! This one is the first that is an established, an iconic race in The Legend of Zelda. We have the Gorons. they've been around for a really long time, since Ocarina of Time. They didn't exist before then, and because of that, there's a weird thing where, like, the Gorons don't exist in the Downfall timeline, which confuses me. Where did they go? Where did they go? Aside from that little bit of confusion, I'm gonna be honest, I've never really been a fan of the Gorons. They're rock people, and by being rock people, they do their job well. But I don't know, they're meh. They are meh. They are the reason why meh exists for me. If you want to blame something, I blame Hyrule Warriors, because Darunia, I hate playing Darunia in that game. And a lot of my opinions are based on Hyrule Warriors, just like, in general, I love that game. And so the slow but heavy-hitting fighting style is not my preferred method, and I hate playing it. That definitely bumped the Gorons down some levels, so just so you know. The ancient robots seen in Skyward Sword, this is the peak design in Skyward Sword. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, a lot of the Skyward Sword designs are kind of meh whenever it comes to, like, the new races. And I say this as someone who really got into Zelda because I thought that Fi was pretty. So, I'm not fully biased yet. But, I don't know, something about the ancient robots just is so perfect. It's this mix of old and ancient, like, almost Aztec designs mixed with, like, futuristic robots, and I love it. It's perfect. Honestly, their design reminds me of some of, like, the weird road art that exists here where I live, and I really like it. I do have lore questions, though, which stops them being in too cool for school. I want to know who built these guys, so that puts them in I have questions affectionate. So, yeah, if I knew more about them, if they were in more games, they would be moved up. My dog wandered into my room. She would have continued to scratch at the door relentlessly if I hadn't let her in. Now she's going to be upset that I closed the door behind her. She likes all of the doors open in our house, so that way she can make her own good choices. Look at her. Look at her. She's just a little moosh. You know what I'm talking about, you love. Where was I? Right, the random number generator gave me the Subrosians. The Subrosians give me absolutely nothing. And I love them for it. They're just these cute little blob guys. How can you not love them? They like to sing. They like to dance. They have a pop star. I love them. They're S tier. I would die for them. I would die for them to be in more of the Zelda games. Give me more of them, please. Unfortunately, the Subrosians only exist in Holodrum, and that makes me very, very sad. The Mai. I did not know that these were a race. I thought they were a monster, I guess. But they only exist in A Link Between Worlds. And they're very cute. They do have a very cute design. I'll give them that. That said, I don't like their role in the gameplay. See, there's the big mother one who's trying to look for all of her children. All 100 of them who are playing hide and seek. Don't do this. Don't do this to me. I don't want to look for more of them, okay? Look, I don't like looking for things. I'm bad at it. I'm bad at it, okay? Stop doing this to me. At least give me a way that I can check them off somehow, okay? Please, please? I don't like doing this. I would like to smack these guys upside the head for making me find them in hide and seek. That's terrible behavior. That's villain behavior. Ooh, the Rito! So honestly, my feelings on the Rito are kind of mixed. Because on one hand, Breath of the Wild gives us Rivali. And he's the worst. I do like him, though. He successfully fills his role as being a jerk. And then on the other hand, you have Wind Waker, which as someone who did not play it, who is afraid of the ocean and does not want to play it, Wind Waker gave me my favorite NPC, the plot-detecting mailman Quill. I love him. He was the only spark of joy when I was reading through about Wind Waker. That said, the two designs between Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild, those are two very different designs. And as such, I think they're going in, I have questions affectionate. Because I want to know more about them. I do like the retail. They've grown on me. When I first saw them, I thought they were kind of weird. But they've grown on me. I want to know more about them. I want to know how we got from Wind Waker to Breath of the Wild's retail. And what happened after Valoo died. Because, like, Valoo was giving them their ability to fly. And we know that spirits die or decay or go away eventually. So, like, what happened there? What happened to the retail after that happened? Like, I'm curious. I don't want to go back to the Wind Waker, though, so I don't care to know specifically, but I do have questions about the retail, so affectionate. Staying in Wind Waker, I guess, the Fishmen. I forgot that these guys existed, which is kind of a good thing for them. I have lore questions. Are they a different race from the Zora, or are they the saltwater Zora who evolved after the Great Sea flooded? I want to know. I'm never going to know. And I'm never going to inquire further because I don't want to look further into the Wind Waker because the ocean is terrifying. But, you know, I have questions, so I have lore questions about them. Aliens from Majora's Mask. Congratulations for the aliens for making me create an entirely new level of this tier list. They go above S tier in the memes tier. Why are there aliens? I love it so much. It's the funniest one-off, and it happens in Termina, which may or may not be real. So, like, peak comedy. The absolute meme for the aliens. They're winning. They are winning. Next, I guess staying in the Majora's Mask Ocarina of Time era, we have the Keaton, which I just thought was a mask. Not gonna lie, I thought it was a mask. But then, also, they appear as an enemy in Minish Cap. Very different appearances, by the way. So we're mostly gonna be going off of the one that appears in Majora's Mask, that does the unspeakable. A heinous crime. It makes you go through a quiz. I will fight them on sight. I do not want to be quizzed on things, okay? I panic, and I forget everything that I know, okay? I don't want to do a quiz. Also, it's hands on sight because they're enemies in a different game, so it works. The Locomo! I love Spirit Tracks. I love Spirit Tracks so much. It's the funniest possible concept for a Zelda game. That said, the Locomos are just like normal people, I guess, who were in the land that would become New Hyrule, that I like to call Locomo. They were just in that land first. That said, they do all have these cool, like, train car body things. And because Byron is a Locomo and he doesn't have one, we can assume that that's not a race feature, unless he's a Hylian who was, like, trained by the Locomos. Anyway, as you can see, I have more questions. I have questions about them, so they're going in I have questions affectionate because I love them, and I love Spirit Tracks. Funniest possible Zelda game. The Tokay. These guys are absolutely adorable. Look at them. Look at them! They have a bartering-based economy, and they think that the number 3 is a lot. These guys are so pure. That said, I would not die for them, though. They are not Subrosion levels. They're cute, they're adorable, but they need some more world skills, because otherwise somebody's going to come along and take advantage of them, so I want to smack them upside the head with some common sense. Otherwise, somebody else will come in and steal everything, and maybe we'll never see them again. That said, they are only seen in Labrinia, so we're never seeing them again anyway, I guess. It's sad to think about that. The Wind Tribe. I have a theory about them, okay? They only appear in Minish Cap, right? But I have a theory. I'm not going to go into the theory because we do not have time for that. But aside from my theory, they got so good at controlling the winds that they just decided to live on the clouds. That's hilarious. That's actually hilarious. I love it. That said, it's implied that, like, they weren't very good at building technology themselves, because they had the Armos, which are statue sentries, built for them, which is like a double crime, because one, they weren't good enough to build them on their own, and two, I hate Armoses. They're enemies, so you have to fight them, and they're annoying. So that's points away from them. Also, they have red hair, all of them, which implies that they're some sort of Gerudo ancestor, which means I have even more questions about them. They could be Gerudo ancestors, they might not be. It's hard to tell. Aside from that, though, they are just kind of normal people, so I'm putting them in I have lore questions for my one theory about them, and then also the question about the Gerudo. So, lore questions it is for them. Moving on from the Wind Tribe, we have the Icona. Where are they? There it is. These. Okay. So they only exist in Termina, which may or may not exist. And other races in Termina come directly from Ocarina of Time, but this is different. Like, technically they are just Stalfos, which are just skeletons. However, they have their own, like, lore and history to them, which I would love to know more about. But I'm never going to get an answer to that because Termina doesn't exist, maybe, question mark. So I have to just live with the fact that I'll never get any more information on them. We don't even know what they actually looked like in life because all of them are dead. So they were maybe just normal human people, and for this, I have lore questions. They actually go higher up in the lore questions because I want to know more about them than a lot of the others that are in the lore question segment. So, yeah. I have lore questions about the Icona. Humans. So, when, like, the Legend of Zelda series first started off, like, Hylian was a term to refer to, like, the people of the land of Hylia. Hyrule was a term used to refer to the people of Hyrule, kind of like Americans. But then as more lore shaped around it, it became that Hylians were technically different from humans, which is really funny to me for some reason. The only difference is the elf ears. But because I think it's really funny that humans existed, they're going in, I have questions, affectionate. Because I think it's funny that they exist. Otherwise, it would be I have lore questions, but because I think it's really funny, they get bumped up. Deku Scrubs! Okay. I forget that these are races and not just enemies. And so, because of that, like, they're getting minus points, because in my brain they are just enemies, except in Termina and in Minish Cap, where you can beat some of them and then they'll go, and then you can talk to them, and turns out they are salespeople. So, I guess that is the best case for them being a race in Hyrule. They have bartering tactics. Which means they're choosing to be jerks all the time. So yeah, they're getting smacked upside the head because they're cute. But they're choosing to be jerks, okay? They're choosing violence. Is that me? Am I a Deku Scrub? Am I choosing violence? Fairies. Okay, I'm specifically looking at the little balls of light, or like the little ones that heal you. I'm not looking at great fairies, because those make me uncomfy a little bit. But no, looking at the fairies, I would die for them. I would die for them if I could. but they will heal me first, and in doing so, they will die for me. They pulled an Uno reverse card on me, okay? I can't. I love them, and I would die for them, but they will not let me. Hylians! This is boring, this is default, this is meh. It's boring, it's basic, it's meh. Okay? That's all I need to say. They're just humans with elf ears. Koroks. They are so cute. And they just want to heal the world by doing a little ritual and then planting more trees. Like, I can't not love them. However, they have no defense, which is a common theme in the cute but smack them upside the head, because we need to smack some common sense into them. They need to be able to provide for themselves, otherwise they're gonna get killed. The Perella, it was a choice. I mean, like, I get it, Skyward Sword. You wanted an aquatic race that wasn't just the Zora again. You had already pulled that move with just keeping the Gorons as they were. You didn't want to do it again. But then you didn't have the guts to say that they become the Zora later on. They're just extinct, maybe? Or maybe they do become the Zora? I don't know. Also, I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan of their design. I'm gonna be honest. They're going in meh. They're meh to me. The Twali. Oh my gosh. The lore. The cool design. They're great. They're too cool for school. I do wish that more of them had more of like a Midna or Zant appearance. Or I wish that the Shadow Beast form was their normal forms, because those are rad. So, like, yeah, they're too cool for school. They're cool. They have lore. I love their lore of being an evil tribe from Hyrule that was banished for their want of power. And then, while in the realm of Twali, they slowly evolve into the Twali. And it's great. It's chef's kiss. Mwah! The Sheikah. This is just another really cool race. Like, a group of ninja people who you will only meet one when playing the games. And, like, maybe two if you're lucky, though one of them is a fake looking at Sheik. They're just so cool. They're ninjas. They protect the royal family. They're said to always be the last of their kinds. But because they keep on going on, I doubt that. I just think the rest are super well hidden. Also, they've committed war crimes, for a fact. However, they're too cool to go in war crimes, so they're going up to too cool for school. I'm sorry, I do make the rules. This one is a deep cut. If you thought about this one, if you saw it on my little list here, and you knew what it was, you get 10 points. These are the Zuna. They are only ever seen in Four-Sword Adventure in a small town in the desert, and I want to know more. They have such a funny design. They're little cactus people, and I love them for that. But then also, they apparently built the giant pyramid where the evil trident is, that also the Garuda worship there. And it's like, they built this giant pyramid, and then they abandoned it, moved to the farther reaches of the desert, don't interact with their desert neighbors, and they live in little huts with flowers on top. They're so funny. And this is the only time we see them. What happened to the cactus people? Are they cactus people? It's hard to tell because of the sprite. I want to know more. I will never get to know more. They're going in I have questions affectionate because I really like them. And they're really obscure. Skull Kids. Their lore is so messed up. They're actually going to go higher in here. The lore of the Skull Kids is so messed up. They are adorable. They do need to be smacked upside the head. But more specifically, they needed to be smacked upside the head when they were still Hylian children and before they wandered into the Lost Woods to be forever transformed into a creature that's immortal. Yeah. Messed up lore! We love to see it! The Minish. The Minish! These guys are the very reason that the I would die for them tier exists, okay? I love them so much. They're adorable little mice creatures who just only good children can see them, which is the best form of self-protection ever. Because if the children are good, they will not hurt the Minish. Also called Picori. I'm gonna stick with Minish here. And they're just so adorable and so cute. And all they want to do is make people happy. So they will hide little gifts and treasures inside of pots and grass, which means that throughout the entire timeline of the Legend of Zelda series, every time you break a pot or you cut a grass, and you find a rupee or a heart or something, it's because the Minish put it there. The Minish put it there for you. I swear I'm completely normal about this. I love them. I would die for them. They are the reason that I would die for any of these. They set the bar so high. The Gorons! That's right, I put them on here twice. This one's going in meme, though. Because, just like all evolution will eventually lead to crabs, apparently, according to science somehow, in Hyrule, all evolution will eventually lead to Gorons. They are the perfect species. They need not evolve. The Garo. So these are like the opposite of the Icona, in that I have questions for them, but they're cooler looking than the Icona, so they get higher up. They're just so mysterious, and I want to know what they look like underneath. I'm not going to ever know, and they also make me have lore questions because they're only ever seen in Termina, and they're at war with the Icona. And I want to know more about that, but I never will. Because Termina will never be revisited, unfortunately. Honestly, that's true about most of the places that you go that aren't Hyrule. We're never going back to them. The Cobble, seen in Phantom Hourglass. Their king has a really cool design. These are just normal humans, though. Like, big burly men humans, yes. Kind of almost giving a little bit of Goron, but they're just, I don't know. They're going in meh. I don't care for them. The Koroks! Yahaha! Yahaha! You found me! 900 Korok seeds. And for what? To be insulted. War crimes. Is it because I want to commit war crimes on them? Is it because making me find 900 Korok seeds is a war crime in and of itself? You'll never know. I won't tell. It's definitely the first one. I would like to commit war crimes against the Breath of the Wild Koroks. They deserve to be sent to space. I love that Tears of the Kingdom let us just send them into space for funsies. Like, that's the ultimate way to get back at them for what they did in Breath of the Wild. The Mogma! It's hands on sight. Like, I don't know what. I don't know why or what in my brain makes me look at them and go, I need to fight that. I need to exterminate it. I need to kill that thing right here, right now. But I do feel that way every time I see them. It's instinctual, it's instant, and I cannot help it. I would like to fight these things. It's a good thing they went extinct. The Anuki. They're adorable. And when I first saw them, my actual reaction was, "Oh, they're adorable!" And then I find out that they're so persnickety that they will not defend their own village if they are supposed to go into a guard team with somebody that they do not like. Smack them upside the head for some common sense, honestly. Why is it that all of the cute ones lack common sense completely? Smack them all upside the head. They need some smarts in them. The Yuke are meh. Are they Yetis? Are they the same as Yita and Yuto? I don't know. But overall, they're just Bigfoot-looking guys who got mind-controlled, which is weak. That is what weak people do. They're going in meh. The Kokiri, the Immortal Children. The Immortal Children raised by a tree is hilarious. I have quite a few questions about them, so they're going in B tier because I want to know more about them. I'm intrigued. It intrigues me. But I won't get to know more because now we have the Koroks instead, so. When did the Great Deku Tree start collecting children like Pokemon? I want to know. When did this start? The Zora. Absolutely iconic. They have technically been there since the first Zelda game. While yes, they were enemies there, they have been there since the start. They are iconic. They are pretty. Why did they make the fish people hot? Okay? I'm sorry. I'm not the only one. Why did they make the fish people look hot? They also have their own lore, kingdom, and history. I love them. They're at the top of Too Cool for School. The demons only really appearing in Skyward Sword. The difference between a demon and a monster is that the demons can create, summon, and control the monsters. The best example being Demise, the Demon King. But for the picture, I did the one from Skyward Sword, who, if you give him enough gratefulness crystals, he can become Hylian, which has so many questions. But for demons as a whole, they have committed so many war crimes. Like, literally, they started a war. So they have actual confirmed war crimes. River Zora. That's right. I put Zora on here twice. I can do whatever I want, because the monstrous-looking River Zora are just as cool as the normal Zora, and I think they deserve more recognition for being cool swamp monster creatures who actually are enemies some of the time, but then also they've signed a peace treaty with Hyrule some of the time. It's cool. I like it. Rudo. They're too cool for school. Like, I can't help it. They're so cool. They've got cool lore. They have a weird curse on their race. They live in the desert. They're thieves some of the times, noble races other times. I want to know more about them. The Gerudo fans are well fed. Everyone agrees that they are hot. Like, that's not a question. They're just are built differently. They've never been weak looking. They've always been lit. Dragons. This one feels like cheating. This feels like cheating because dragons are always cool. That said, I have questions about the dragons, so they do not get to be in Too Cool for School. They have to go down to I have questions with other races. They don't get the very elite club of Too Cool for School. The Sheikah. That's right. I put them on here twice. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom took the rad race that is the Sheikah and made them just Hylians with white hair. I can't... They're so boring now. They're just NPC level now. They used to be cool characters, and now they're just... For somebody who likes Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I don't like some of the choices that they made. Speaking of not liking the choices made in Tears of the Kingdom, the Zonai. The lore killers. The timeline destroyers. Can you tell? Can you tell I have a lot of opinions on them? Can you tell? Can you tell that I do not like them because of what they've done to my precious timeline? F tier. It's hands on sight. I would like to fight them. That said, they have a really cool design, which makes me hate them more because it's so cool. But then we'll look at what they did to my precious timeline, and I hate them for it, and I hate them because they're so cool looking, and it's a vicious cycle. Did I wait to put them down here because I was so angry about it? Yes. I also waited to put this last one down here because it's the funniest race possible. The Yoka are going at the very top of the meme category. For that time, I traumatized an entire room of people at Comic-Con by making them look up what an Oka is. It's so disturbing. Why did they do this? It's so funny though. 10 out of 10. No notes whatsoever. This is hilarious. I want more weird designs like this, honestly. I also would like an Oka plush or a statue of some kind, and I have found that nobody sells them, so I'm gonna have to make one myself. That's gonna be its whole other video of me trying to figure out how to do something like that. But yeah, this was my Legend of Zelda Races tier list. I hope you enjoyed. When presenting this PowerPoint, one of my friends instantly made a joke of, Wait. Are we being racist? To which I say, no, it's technically speciesist. To which, yes, I am being speciesist. I'm not even gonna hide that. Like, I like some of these more than others. I'm looking at the Mogma, and I'm just filled with anger. Is it Mogma or is it Mogma? I think it's Mogma, but that sounds too much like magma, so I'm gonna call them Mogma. Yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings. Like and subscribe for more of me being a weird, unhinged person. Yeah. Bye.